Here's a spinal hack. Core strengthening reduces recurrence of spinal and back pain. I'm Dr. Vinod, and today we're going to talk about some of the most simple, basic, fundamental activities to help your core and your spine. A lot of times people think they got to do a lot of push-ups and sit-ups and move around and figure out all these big gadgets and big tools to really engage their core and help support their spine. Although those things are great and can help out and are proven to be very good, there's some essential things that you can do at home to help support your spine and reduce and eliminate any back pain or recurrence of any spinal issues. All right, so this is the first series of 3 in this exercise. These exercises aren't going to be super easy, but they'll get the job done for your core and your spine. The first one's going to involve laying on the table or a floor. Start with your feet in a position that's neutral like this. And you want to keep your back flat. So sometimes just lifting your hips up like this and just dropping it down slowly gives your pelvis a tilt backwards. They call it a posterior tilt. So up, back down, get that tilt down so your back is flat on the table. And you're going to start off with just raising your legs up like this. And your arms will be right here to start off with. And as you go leg down, the same arm follows suit. Just make sure you're breathing. Make sure you're not jutting your jaw or trying to do anything to tense your neck muscles and your core. Very simple. Trying to reach your left arm to your left leg, your right arm to your right leg, and you're engaging that core, and that lower back is tight. And I say it's like doing a elliptical trainer, but on your back. And that'll engage your core really well. You're getting your spine to turn and rotate a little bit as you're moving your arms. So your entire lower back is going to be flat and tense and engaged in a good way. And then your front, which is your core here, it's moving, it's contracting as your legs are moving and your arms are moving. So you're getting this dynamic co-contraction of the front of your body, your side, and your back. And you're advancing the movement to incorporate your legs and rhythm and having a dynamic exercise. So that way you're thinking about what you're doing, right? Because part of it is like you can do an exercise, lift your leg, but if you're not thinking about the contraction of the muscle, the brain doesn't learn how to adapt and use the knowledge it's learning from the movement to get stronger. So the next variation of this exercise involves a ball. This will be harder to do. Same sort of setup. You get your back nice and flat on the table. You do your little pelvic tilt there. Again, it's called the posterior pelvic tilt. You're tilting your pelvis downward, your back lays flat. In this scenario, the ball is right in front of you like this. Okay, before I do it, the idea is when you have your ball up in front of you, you have a bit of a weight, and there is some weight to this obviously, but it's stable weight up here. And now you're requiring your legs to come up and to move in a reciprocal pattern, similar to riding a bike. And the lower your legs get down to the table, the harder it'll be. But your core has to contract to hold the ball and your arms perpendicular to your legs while you're moving your legs. Key thing here is to make sure your back stays flat. Really work hard on that. Don't let that flat back come off. The flatter your back, the more your core will feel. If you start to raise your back off like this, so keep your back flat, and the more you'll feel it in your core. The last variation, which is the same variation as this, is harder, is again, posterior pelvic tilt, get your back flat, and now the ball is over your head in this position. Same thing here, raise your legs up, and you're doing the exercise. There's less forgiveness here because your body is elongated with your arms over your head. Again, you want to keep your back as flat as possible to engage your core. At any point, you need to stop, bring your feet down, bring the ball back up, and just rest or recalibrate by flattening your back. The spine is really dynamic. It could do a lot of different things. but it doesn't have to be complicated. Engaging these exercises initially and getting your back going, you can start doing a little bits of each, or you could do more of one or the other. But the key thing is you start to engage. As you engage, you can always make it stronger and harder to do if you just increase your repetitions and increase your challenge. In this case, you're taking a ball and moving in different positions. The one I gave you is the one in front of you and then over your head. But let's not forget, it can be moved over to the side a little bit in either direction, or even if you have it in front of you and you don't want to start off with it being that difficult, you can just put it on your chest and start moving your legs. The key thing is to keep your back very flat and not have too much mobility in the spine while you're doing it, so the spine is stable and the core is engaged. And that's a simple, no-fail way of supporting your back and your core with a simple exercise that can be done any place, from the gym to your house, and you'll get great results. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the content, hit the like button, subscribe, and the notification buttons for future content. See you next time.